Hello everybody, my name's Laura and I'm one of the theatre directors at the Primary Shakespeare Company, and I'm going to show you how to make a spell book, just like Prospero's spell book. Now we know that Prospero has had his spell book for years. When he was a young man, he became obsessed with magic spells, and he's now a relatively old man and he's been collecting them for years and years. So ideally, you want your spell book to be full of spells. They could be Shakespearean spells, they could be naughty spells, they could be badly written spells. Who cares? It's lockdown. We don't care about quality, we just care about fun. Now this is the spell book that I have made. It says Prospero's Magic Spellbook on it. You could write your own name. You could also make this as a gift for somebody if you have a birthday coming up, because we can't hit the shops. Inside are the spells. And I haven't completed it because I'm going to complete it now here with you. You will need a piece of cardboard, anything from a cardboard box. You will need some old Christmas wrapping paper or something sparkly. You'll need some paints or some Sharpies, some ordinary school white glue, some sellotape, a pair of scissors and a stapler. You'll need a fancy pen, anything that's not a biro. If you've got a calligraphy set, that's brilliant, something you can do swirly writing with. If you've got some sparkly ribbon lying around, and any bits of sparkly paper that you can cut up. And then the magic ingredient, you need a tea bath. So you need to get a big oven dish and fill it with about 4 tea bags and some boiling water. But make sure an adult helps you with that. And you need some white paper and another colour paper. Purple ideally, but anything you can find. And then you're set to go. And if you haven't got all of this stuff, it doesn't matter. You can make it your own. This is just a bit of a guide. So I've made my main book by getting an old piece of cardboard box. And I found an old piece of Christmas paper. You see, we're really into recycling here at the Primary Shakespeare as well. And I have just covered it. I'm not going to do every little bit blow by blow for you because you can kind of gauge what I've done. I've covered it and I've stuck it down with some sellotape. And then on the inside bits, I found old bits of, I think this is an old piece of wallpaper actually, that I had lying around. So I've just kind of covered up those ugly bits to hide the sellotape. And then on the front, I found some sparkly ribbon. And I've made a little border just with some glue. And I've just painted, I've just used acrylic paint, but you might have poster paint or anything would do. And ideally you need some pages that aren't white. I've got purple, but if you've got white, then white is cool. And I have just literally stapled them into the book, plonk, plonk. And then with the ugly staples, I have stuck my sparkles over the staples. Now the fun bit, how did I make this crinkly old looking paper? I haven't got a stash of antique paper in my house, by the way. I've made it and it's fun. So what you want to do is get a tray, a dish, an oven dish like this, and plonk 4 tea bags in the dish with some hot water and wait for it to get a bit cool. And then get some white paper and you plonk it in your tea bath like so. It's quite nice, this bit. And you leave it for not very long, for about half an hour, otherwise it will go really mushy. And then just lift it out, and if you've got a balcony or a garden and it's a bit sunny, great, just leave it out to dry there, or put it somewhere where it's not going to stain a floor or a carpet to dry. And then it will look like, here's one I made earlier, this. And as you can see, it has kind of got holes in it and it's ruined a bit, and that's great because this is Prospero's book. He's had it for years and years. It's survived a former Tempest, not the Tempest of the play, the one that happened before when he was sent with his baby daughter Miranda. You know the bit, you know the story. So if it looks a bit like that, great. We're aiming for something that looks like an old, valuable antique. So at the beginning of my spell book, I've added some of the spells that Prospero and Ariel use in the play, in the Tempest. And you can do that if you want, you don't have to, but they're quite fun, they're quite naughty, and it might get you into the spirit of things. So here is a spell for someone annoying. For this tonight, be sure you shalt have cramps. Or instead of saying you can say thou, because that's what Shakespeare does. This is a spell for creating a tempest. This is me kind of rewriting Shakespeare, by the way. It's not his actual language. Make the waves wild. Fill the sky with tar. Ugh, that treacly stuff they make roads with. Heat the waves with lightning and let them smash the vessel in two. So you can have real fun with this. Here's a spell for revenge. If you've got a naughty little sister or someone's annoying you at home, thou shalt be pinched, as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees made 'em. Right, so those are my Shakespeare spells. Those are Prospero spells or Ariel spells. Now I'm going to make up some of my own spells. Now I've thought a lot about how to do this, and I've come up with this as a method. Don't worry about them not being good or funny or clever or witty. It's just about making something up. It's about improvising. It's about playing around with ideas. And this is what I've come up with. Come up with your final line, okay? What do you want your spell to be about? Now, this spell, I want to be about my favourite supper, which is fish and chips. So my final line is, tonight we will have fish and chips. And then I'm just thinking what could go in front. And I came up with, oh, perfect meal, come to my lips. Tonight we shall have fish and chips. So I ain't no Shakespeare, and it doesn't matter. Now I've got my crinkly old tea-stained dry bit of paper, and this is where the calligraphy set comes in. But again, as I say, if you don't have one, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to do some sort of swirly writing. So what's this? Okay, oh, perfect meal. Oh, perfect meal. I think, I haven't done a calligraphy course, but I just think when you're crossing the T, make it really long. When you're doing an O, make it really swirly. Come to my lips. To my lips. Do you like fish and chips? Tonight we shall have fish and chips. So that is my spell for I want my favourite meal tonight, please, Mum. And then, now, what I've discovered is you need to write it before you stick it in, because otherwise it can go a bit kind of wet and gloppy and gloopy. So I'm going to stick it in now with some, what's this? White, normal, ordinary glue, the kind of glue you have at school. Or you can use sellotape. So stick it in. I like this globby gluey moment. Lots and lots and lots. Stick it in. And then, see, it's quite nice and it looks old, doesn't it? It doesn't look like I've just stuck it in. As you can see here, I've blurred the edge between the tea-stained page and the purple page with some dashes with my pen. Or you can do whatever you want. You could do stars or just something to make that look a little bit less of an obvious seam, and also to add to that age thing. So you're getting the idea with my spells. I'm just picking an idea. I want fish and chips tonight. What else do I want? I quite like my bedroom to be clean and tidy, just like that. By the way, kids, don't be thinking that these spells don't work. You have to believe. You have to believe in the power, and then just try it. Just try it, and maybe, just maybe, your bedroom is tidy. So this is my please can someone tidy my bedroom spell. So again, I've come up with the final line, which is make my bedroom tidy and clean. And I have kind of got a rhyme in there, but it's not a great one. And you don't have to do a rhyme. So here's mine. Spirits of Hoover and Duster, let yourselves be seen. Make my bedroom tidy and clean. So that's that one, and I will stick that one in a minute. Now, I don't know what life is like for you in lockdown, but maybe your brother or your sister's really annoying you. Maybe, just maybe, you want to say, oh, let's be friends, for goodness sake. So this is one, if that applies to you. Sister dear, hold your tongue. Let's stop this bickering and have some fun. So I'm going to write that one out now. What you can also think about is some Shakespeare words. So he uses thee and thou a lot. So you could come up with your spirit, sister dear, hold your tongue. Let's stop this bickering and have some fun. And then instead of your, you can be clever and you can put in thy. And also what he quite likes to do is he quite likes to squish words together. Sister dear, hold thy tongue. Let's stop this bickering and have some fun. So I'm going to write this one out. And I'm going to really flourish my handwriting. So you could do it with brother, or you could do it with mother, or your father, or uncle, or auntie, whoever you're in lockdown with. Sister dear, hold thy tongue. I think that is very Shakespearean. Hold thy tongue. Let's stop this bickering. Swirly bees, swirly K's. And have some fun. Have a think about what spell you want to write. Do you want to write a spell about summer lasting forever? Do you want to write a spell about schools never reopening again? Maybe you want to write a spell about schools opening really soon. I don't know. Maybe that is something that you would love. Maybe you want to write a spell about what you want for your birthday, what you want for Christmas. That's quite far away. But you get my gist. And then in the front cover, you can write a contents. Spells for revenge, spells for goodness and kindness, spells for ordering and sorting, spells for helping you with maths, whatever you want. And I think you probably get the idea with this spell book. I think we're there. A spell book for lockdown. Prospero's spell book, Laura's spell book, whoever you are's spell book. How to make a spell book.